And we are live on Out of the Box podcast. This is my co-host Bradley Powers. I'm your host Jim Andre, and we're waiting for our guest Vic Makaroff, who has not arrived yet.
Hi there. Yeah, thank you for having me, Jim. My name is Bradley Powers. Welcome to Oh no, it's not that anymore, is it? This is Jim's show, Out of the Box podcast, and it's called Out of the Box because we cause you to think out of the box. And it's not a boxing. It's not about boxing. If you come here for violence, well, you might see some actually, because some of the things Jim's been saying is enough to make you want to be violent, but not because love thy neighbour. That's what I say. Now, Jim, you're not going to make me hostile, are you?
Well, it's up to you. You can be hostile, dog style, any style you choose.
So, did Jesus?
Jim, you're not going to make me hostile.
Quick, stop! Please forgive me for that. Right, I thought I turned it down. There you go.
Hi, Marianne.
Right, that's that. Hi there, Marianne from Ghost House Paranormal. Thank you for joining us. Pleasure to have you near us. I'm actually going to ring our guest right now, if I can. We do have a guest, okay? Oh, I hope you don't interfere with our transmission. Jim, you gone all dark?
Yeah, it's because I'm on another page right now. Here we go.
Rightio, okay. Yeah, Jim likes to be in the dark. Why is that, I wonder?
No, it just makes for a better background.
The dark. I like lights because I am light. And Jim has been talking dark talk lately.
No, I haven't been talking dark talk per se. I mean, you have to be able to know the dark in order to know the light and tell the difference, right? Here's Vic.
I'd like to.
Hello, guys.
Oh, thank you for joining. Vic Makaroff is in the house. The Vic Makaroff, may I add? And I'd like to say thank you for joining us, Mike Hewins, Marianne Clark, Donnie Randall. Pleasure to have you all near us.
I don't see them in this chat. You see them in yours, Bradley. I don't see them in mine.
Yeah. Well, mine's tuned into the God frequency, and I've got all their names coming up. So I don't know if that's got anything to do with what we're going to talk about.
Lisa is with us. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Yeah, hi there, Vic. Thanks for joining me, Vic.
That's all right, Bradley.
Remember, you don't have to take sides, Vic, on this conference.
Right.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you near us. But yeah, Jim has some points of view which are quite interesting, actually, quite valid as well, regarding the subject of religion. Okay, and I'm not religious, by the way. I'm a spiritualist. I believe you are too, Vic. But I'd just like to say that, yeah, Jim's got some points regarding religion. And although I'm not religious, I'm going to try and see if I can defend some of the religious faith, if I can.
Well, it doesn't matter what anybody says. It's what each individual believes is what counts.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right, Bill.
That's right.
Faith is where it's at.
Yeah, but faith is the belief of the unknown.
Your intuition is a compass to the soul, and I think you should follow your intuition. Really?
Yeah, intuition is important.
Uh-huh.
If you have faith is belief of the unknown. So you've got to take that leap of faith, like they say, to believe in religion, to believe in one God.
You know what makes it tough for a higher intelligent being such as humans is the level of emotions that we're capable of feeling. Okay. Now, we wouldn't know the exhilarating feeling of love if we were never given the ability to experience hate. okay, we would never be able to appreciate the feeling of happiness without knowing what feeling sad is like. So if you want to have emotions that work, you got to have both. You've got to have both hate and love. You've
Yeah,
got to both
you have
sadness
both,
and happiness.
but the joy,
Because without it, the emotions mean nothing. There is no emotion. If you don't have both opposites, they don't work. So you got to understand that all we conceive as being good and bad, right or wrong, love or hate, light or darkness, are opposites. And in order to experience either side, you got to be able to experience both sides.
you've got to walk into the dark to see the light. I agree with you there. You have to experience darkness to see light. You have to experience sadness to see happiness. But the thing is, you have more of happiness than you have of sadness. That's more beneficial to a human being. You can't be a
Yes,
pessimist
but
and say, well,
to say that there's a way that we could extract, in other words, knowing what we know about hate and love, for example, if we were to say that there must be a way to totally extract hate out of the field of emotion, that would be just something that we would be fooling ourselves with.
yeah, but that's why I say you got to have more spirit and less ego. Ego-based emotions. You got to have a little bit of ego-based emotions, but you got to have more spirit. So you got to have more of the happiness, the more of the love, the more of the good emotions. It's more beneficial to a human.
Well, that happens in phases. What happens is when one side becomes
Well, it's definitely not here
balanced,
because, like, I would have.
for example, to the point where it's unbalanced today in the direction
If
that
they
we're
was here, I
going.
would have seen them. I'm sure you took them.
Yeah, but I
You
always
know,
prefer to be happy rather than be depressed. If I'm feeling a little low, I'd rather get into the happiness mode to pick myself up. That's what humans do. That's what humans should do.
yes, but they don't do that as a collective, and they never will, because
No,
not every
yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot of people who are depressed and suicidal and whatnot.
that's impossible. That's impossible, and that's just the way the field of emotions work. I mean, in other words, one law of nature is that what we have to realize is that there is no such thing as perfection, and there never will be. See, so in order for everybody to love all at once and be on the same page all at once and believe all the same things all at once will never happen.
It's happening more as a collective, but it's becoming more of a majority than a minority. I think that's what the difference is these days. That's why.
By the direction the world is going, and it doesn't seem like it's heading in the right direction.
It doesn't seem like it. Bloody governments and whatnot doing their things, but the majority of people.
The way it's been out. It's been like that throughout history for thousands of years. As I've said,
But I think this time it's going to be different, Jim. I don't believe we're going to repeat the same way, like the Romans or
all right. So what is your
Atlanteans.
version? So what is your version of correcting the balance without having to sacrifice to do so?
I just think as a collective, people need to be more happier. I just think as a collective, they need to experience more happiness.
How can the world have more happiness when they have lockdowns worldwide?
A change of views will be a good start.
Wait a minute. Let me finish.
Yep.
Lockdowns worldwide, mandates worldwide. We've been brainwashed for thousands of years. They've been in control for hundreds of years. Wow. Where does more happiness come from that?
It has to. It has to. As a basis of humanity, it has to. We can't continue dragging the punt ourselves through the shit.
Well, but that's what we continue doing. It's never going to change.
But as a collective, it's becoming more of a majority, I reckon, than a minority. More and more people are
And
finding
where do
this
you
happens.
and where do you see the signs of that as far as
In general,
improvement? Wait a minute.
just in general population. I don't see it in
Okay,
governments.
but where's the results on bettering the world from what you're saying right now? What examples can you give me that what you're saying and the reason you're saying it? What examples of the world getting better do you see at this point in time to back up what you're stating?
The way we live at the moment, our technology. I know technology can be a bad thing, but technology also is pushing us towards a more happier place, where
Well,
we're becoming more comfortable in our situation. We don't have to be like
so
old people.
you can actually go to sleep at night knowing there's nuclear weaponry all around the world that can spark a nuclear holocaust. With all the turmoil we got now in the Ukraine and Russia, you can, despite that, things are getting better in the world. And you
Yeah,
can
but
just
nuclear weapons.
you can go to sleep tonight like a baby and not worry about it, right?
I don't worry about it because nuclear weapons are more of a deterrence than to be used.
Yeah.
They use them against one another. They hold it up against one another.
Yeah, but all you need is one fanatic that don't care.
Yeah, I agree with you. It takes one dickhead. Pardon the punt again.
To think that you can go on the notion that it's just a deterrent is the wrong way to be thinking.
I didn't say it's just a deterrent. I just said it is a deterrent.
Yeah, well, it is a deterrent, but it can turn into something much more lethal.
Right. I agree with you. I agree with you. And very quickly.
That's right. And very easily.
Very quickly. I agree with you. No, I agree with you. It just takes one idiot to push a button so.
That's right.
And it creates nuclear. I know. But
now, for example, Putin, right? I'm not saying that I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but there's been reports out there that he's got cancer. So now if he gets to the point where he's that much of a fanatic and he win or lose, why should he lose all by himself when everybody can lose at one time? Now, if he's a fanatic like that and he thinks that way, he's got nothing to lose to begin with. What makes you think that the world is a safe place to live in?
Yeah, because most governments have doctrines, though, based on nuclear weapons. Doctrines based, yeah, they do. They have doctrines, and it's based on whether they use it against each other first. So say America shot a nuclear weapon at Russia would then retaliate with a nuclear weapon.
Scary part of that is it's all tied into one computer system. If the computer,
I agree with you again.
Yes, if they detect a missile coming from Russia to America,
they'll retaliate.
Our weaponry will automatically deploy.
Yeah, it's called the Black Hand.
That's
Death
right.
Hand, Black Hand. Yeah,
exactly. And that can happen in reality. That can happen. So to say that the world is a safe place, it isn't.
It's safer than what it has been. It's safer than what it has been. I mean, you've got to be an optimist, Jim. Can't be pessimistic all the time.
Well, no, but you also got to go by facts.
I understand that as well. I agree. No, I agree. But I'm always an optimist, and I always believe the fact that we are in a safer and better place. And there's a lot of changes that can happen. There needs to happen. I agree with you. There's a lot of mental conditioning and irregular thinking that needs to change. I agree with that. But I believe I believe the collective on the whole is getting stronger and better. And I think the majority is starting to become more happier. There is a lot of still depression and suicide and whatnot around. That will always be around. But it's the numbers. It's the majority will gain over the minority. And this will soon become a minority. I think it'll be different this time. I don't think we'll follow prehistory. I think history will. I think it'll be different this time. I think humanity is in a different place. Purely an optimist, Jim. I believe. I do sleep well. I I have
Well, I
concerns.
sleep well too because I don't let it bother me to a point where I can't
Right.
sleep. But what
Right.
I'm saying is the reality is there, okay? And it's sad because it's because of a 1%. You know, there's 8 billion people in the world. 1% of 8 billion, I believe, is 8,000. So if 8 billion people can't control 8,000, there's something wrong somewhere.
You know, you're getting into stuff like monies and monopolies and people
Well,
who
that's another
control.
problem. See,
Yeah,
that's
I
another
know. I
problem.
agree
We're
with
the
you.
only species. We're the only species on Earth, right? We're the only species on Earth that needs currency to survive.
Yeah,
All
I
the
don't
other
like currency
species
either.
survive. Yeah, all the other species perfectly survive, right, harmoniously with nature without currency. Why can't man? A
What's your
colony of
alternative?
billions of ants. This is a scientific known fact. A colony of billions of ants, different ant species within the same colonies, can work together in perfect succession without aggression, with perfect harmony within themselves and nature, with a brain 1 millionth the size of man's. Why can't man do the same?
Yeah, but that's all they do. Man has the option of actually thinking and developing new ideas, and he has that intelligence. But
And
the
that's his
but
curse. That's man's curse.
an
That's his
ant
curse.
is just like just a
Well, yeah,
colony.
but man's intelligence is his curse. It's his
Yeah,
intelligence that's brought us to where the world is today. With all these nuclear weapons, with the Hadron Collider smashing atoms, searching for the God particle, not knowing what they're playing with, that's where our intelligence has led us.
yeah. They say they've already opened portholes and they can't close them with the collider smash or whatever you want to call it, collider. That's a dangerous thing, that God particle.
You know, we know better, but yet we're a species capable of saving lives with one hand while deliberately destroying lives with the other. To me, that's an intelligence that's somewhat flawed.
All right. So what would your alternative be to currency?
Well, that's what I was saying at the beginning of the show. It's uncorrectable because you have to have both. You can't have one without the other. That's
No.
the inner struggle. So that's what causes the friction, and that friction will always be there. It's there naturally within nature itself in the form of natural disasters. And
Yeah, but on the
as I've said before, if a tidal wave wiped out 250,000 people all at one time, do you think the universe or nature itself would feel indifferent about it, feel guilty about it, or care either way?
no, the good example there would be the earthquakes at the moment in Turkey. 21,000 people have lost their lives, and nature just continues on going on doing its thing.
And as I've said before, nature need not a creator, for nature has a way of creating, producing, sustaining, destroying, and rejuvenating itself.
That's a good example, actually, Turkey.
And
good.
that's the part that's the kicker right there, is that man is just as much a part of nature as all other nature around him. See, but because of our intelligence, we've got the attitude that the earth belongs to us, when in reality, man
We
belongs to
belong
the
to
earth.
Earth. Yeah,
That's right.
we belong to Earth. I know that's a fallacy. I know. I agree with you. That's wrong thinking that way. No, I agree with you. But on a general, good will always prevail. You got to be an optimist. You got to believe that good will always prevail. Humanity will survive.
Yeah.
Gail Rand F says ants are on the same frequency. Man can do the same when enlightened.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe the aim of the game
Yeah,
is to
me
find
and Jim.
enlightenment.
it's good to hear a different insight, Vic. Thank you for sharing your views, because me and Jim have
That's
been
all
having
right.
this debate for quite a while, actually.
No, that's all right. That's all right. In a lot of ways,
Yeah.
in some aspects, I agree with Jim as well. Some
Yeah.
of his points I do agree with. But I don't agree with being a pessimist when it
Yeah.
comes to humanity. I believe you've got to be, the good will always prevail.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're an optimist, the same as I am. Yeah. Pessimist and optimist. What a difference there is.
The good that you speak of is a concept.
It's a concept, but it's a concept humanity will pick up and develop on.
And the only place that concept exists between good and evil, right or wrong, is within the psyche of man, nowhere else in nature or the universe.
So you're telling me a bird that hunts another bird does no difference between good and evil?
Well, the bird is hunting because he has to survive.
So it's a survival more than being
So in
good
other
or
words,
bad.
all of the species that are born onto this world are born as slaves to what? Slaves to society. I mean, slaves to survival. But man is born with a double whammy. He's not only born a slave to survival, he's born a slave to what? Society, indoctrination of society and control of society. So that's a double.
Yeah, but that's a man-made concept, and a man-made concept can be broken. It can be broken.
Man-made concept, right? That concept doesn't exist anywhere else in nature but within man. That's
it's a man-made concept. I agree with you. Like currency.
That's my point.
No, I'm still an optimist, Jim. Still an optimist. I still believe humanity will prevail.
Well, yeah, there's always hope, but it's not looking good. I mean, I can admit that to myself.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I think
bullshit.
We're in the age of Aquarius, the age of technology, and thanks to technology, it's actually created a unity. More people are awakening from their slumber because they are recognizing through the age of technology, but via the internet, that there are other people like them who are awakening from their slumber and recognizing the true reality of the government and the lies that we've been fabricated during our learning at school by our peers. And we've been trained to get up and go to work, really, and slave to the wage. The money is the new God. That's what we've recognised nowadays. And we, thanks to the internet, are recognising this. Whereas before the internet, no one really knew that we was a slave to the wage. I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, people knew before the internet, but the numbers were smaller than what they are now. I agree with you, brother. There was a minority.
And you didn't know.
Now, Gail says programmed, and that's exactly right. We're programmed by society.
No, I agree.
We're indoctrinated.
I live in England, and I didn't know that you live in Australia, Vic, and you think similar to me. I didn't know that. I thought like I was a minority. And we are, even though we are inferior minority, we are growing as from a minority into majority. A majority, more people recognise now. More people are light workers. More people are realising there are other people out there helping others, just like I am, just like you are, helping others. We are recognising there are more people out there helping others than we realised. It's not all doom and gloom. Not all human beings are evil, narcissists. There are some good people out there, well worth exploring, and they are there helping others. And we recognise that we are helping others just like they are, thanks to the internet. We are.
The trick is you've got to get more that stick together. You understand? That's never happened before.
Yeah, but the numbers are getting better now. I think humanity is different this time. I think it will be different this time.
You know, the numbers are larger and everything right now because there's over 8 billion people. As world population increases, so do the numbers. But what numbers outweigh the others is the question.
There's a lot of narcissists, I agree. No, there's a lot of narcissists around.
Narcissists rule the world, unfortunately.
Yeah, the 1%. They have all the money and they have all the control and the power.
never say die, never say never. Anything is
Absolutely.
possible. That's what I've learned. Anything is
Absolutely.
possible.
only
Like the
way
Georgia Guidestones,
the
the
only way that
destruction
the
of the
world
Georgia.
the only way that the world and in this world that everyone would come together as a collective is if we had an outside threat. That's the only way.
Well,
Yeah,
look at it, Jim.
that will bring humanity together. Absolutely.
Look at
That's what
look
would
at the
bring
Georgia
humanity together.
Guidestone.
And instead of us being too busy here threatening each other, right? We need an outside threat where we have to band together as humanity to protect ourselves from that outside threat. That's the only way that humanity will ever come together as a collective.
The Georgia Guidestones, the destruction of the Georgia Guidestones is actually a reference and a message to the New World Order, don't you think?
I haven't heard of the Georgia's Guidestones, so I can't comment.
It's the Georgia Guidestones is written in how many languages, Jim? 10 languages, different languages.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's also a sundial, and it actually is scribed onto the stones, granite stones.
David Nash says the Georgia Guidestones are a reminder that everyone hates something.
Everyone hates something. Don't be a hater, David Nash.
Yeah, don't be a pessimist. Always got to be an optimist.
To dislike is a feeling, to hate is an energy. Try not to let that energy of hate chew you up and eat you up inside, because hatred festers like an open wound, creating sour and despair, sour and bitterness. Don't be a hater. To dislike is a feeling. David Nash also says we're a docile bunch. Would that be due to fluoride in the water?
Probably.
Yeah. Allegedly, black goo has made it to the drinking water supply. Allegedly. Wow.
And what type of effect does that have on us?
Well, black goo is a highly intelligent toxic substance that it is a black goo, exactly what it's called, and like it's intelligent. Allegedly, it comes from Mars or from an asteroid, apparently.
So what effect does that have in our water if we consume it? What type of effect?
If we consume it, it gets inside us. It can manipulate our thoughts without us realizing it. It's highly intelligent black goo. Would you ever believe that in your life? If you split it up, it will actually try and get back together again.
So if that's true,
I've seen stuff like that.
If that's true, we'd be at the mercy of something that we don't even know about or are aware of. So where do you find hope in that?
Where do we find hope? Faith. Faith.
No, I mean, being realistic. I mean, if what you're saying is a fact, if you're believing what you're saying, and that is true in any way, and it's factual, how can there be any hope? We're already doomed, right?
Excuse me, I'm going to answer this buzzer before it interrupts the show.
Well, I'll cut your mic till you get back.
I've seen this black goo he talks about, but I don't know much about it. I don't know if it's got into the water system, but I do know it affects humanity. It does distort your feelings and whatnot.
You know, I tend to agree with David Servin here. He says, unfortunately, I don't think even a non-terrain threat would bring this world together. We have slipped so far below our own humanity that there is no way to come back?
No, there's always a way to come back. Always a way.
Yeah, but as I've said, the only way to do that is as a collective. Other than that, never happened. Never.
Yeah, but the number of light workers and all the good people around the world is getting more and
And
more.
where do you get your percentages from to back up what you're saying at this moment? In other words, what are the percentages between those who have become enlightened and are supposedly on a path to collectiveness versus those who aren't?
Oh, those who aren't are greater than the ones are, but the ones who are getting stronger and stronger. There's more and more of them. I can't give you percentages because I don't know them. I could just see from my general surroundings.
Now, what went on with the mandates for the virus and where are you, Australia?
Australia, they're going crazy. They've got a 5th dose coming out now. There's no mandates. There's just got a 5th dose of COVID. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that, but of the whatever.
Yeah.
And they've got a 5th dose now coming out. They're just going crazy and mental. There's just too many doses now coming out. I mean, I heard on the news on general media, it only gives you an 8 to 12 week bloody buffer, and then you're back to yourself again. It does nothing really.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get off that subject because we're not allowed to discuss that.
Yeah, I'm sorry I said the word as well.
It's off limits.
Off a commercial break, Jim.
That's off limits by the powers that be.
Commercial break, Jim.
Yeah, we'll do a quick commercial on that note.
La 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 la.
And we're back.
Thank you for that commercial break from Parafam Studios. Okay. And David Nash says hate is what brought the taller guidestones down. That's all he's saying, hate. Yeah, making a statement. Yeah, I agree with that. And also, Gail Rand Epp says, isn't black goo like the graphite oxide A1? Actually, I would say it is. Yeah, graphite oxide. There's another word that goes with graphite, but I can't remember what it was. Saffron? I'm not sure. But yeah, graphite oxide and black goo are quite similar, I would say.
And it comes up from meteorite, you say?
What's that, sorry, Vic?
And it comes up from meteorite, you say, from Mars?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I understand. Yeah, highly intelligent, yeah. It's only a matter of time before it got to the water supply. It makes me wonder if it was deliberately put in the water supply, to be honest with you.
Like fluoride?
You know? Yeah, basically, yeah. They don't want us dead, they want us walking sick. Because
Zombie land.
Big Pharma makes trillions. Big Pharma makes trillions off us if we are walking sick. That's why a lot of herbal remedies are illegal. Like they say, where they're looking for the cure for cancer, they know where the cure for cancer is. It's
Yeah,
in
they've got the
herbal
cure for
medicine.
cancer. Yeah, they've got the cure for cancer in medicine anyway. They're just holding it back from humanity. It's all money.
Absolutely. From what I understand, yeah, like hemp oil and like the medication, like from cannabis, marijuana, hemp oil, can do the most amazing of things, and yet it's not publicised. It's in fact it's illegal. You know, and people serve time in prison for distributing a product which actually helps benefit people's lives. Admittedly, some people do suffer with psychosis from smoking herbal medicines, but many people, that's like a minority. Many people actually benefit health wise from smoking marijuana, from taking hemp oil. I'm not promoting drugs, by the way. I'm just saying. Well, I'll give you another example. You wouldn't walk around every day taking magic mushrooms, would you? Yet magic mushrooms allegedly actually destroy cancer cells as well. So does
Well, you know,
alkaline-based vegetables, which is green vegetables like sprouts, cucumber, broccoli, all the green vegetables. They actually destroy cancer cells. That's not promoted, is it?
well, yeah, but lately it's been being promoted by the government itself. It's been legalized. They're allowing people to set up medicinal shops. Why? Because they want to grab their hands on part of the profit. So
Yeah, it
wherever
cuts
there's
out all.
profit, there's some places now that are even legalizing magic mushrooms, but they want to control it at the same time. See, so in other words, if you dabble in that on your own without permission or legally, they'll punish you for it. But if they can design it within the web of where they'll make millions off it as well, knock yourself out.
What I don't understand, Jim, is if you plant a hemp tree, it takes like 15 years and you've got yourself a full grown tree. They're cutting down the rainforest, plant hemp trees, hemp seeds, and you'll get trees in 15 years, full grown trees. Yet for a natural, normal tree to grow takes like how long? 40 years, 50 years, longer than that even. Well, no, it doesn't take as long as that, but like, get what I'm saying.
Why do you think recently all the governments are starting to legalize marijuana? You know, with medicinal shops and even leisurely, you can have up to a certain amount legally. It's because they're getting their hands on the till. Wherever there's money, they're there.
They can generate taxes off it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But legalizing it also cuts out all the drug dealers, all the nefarious activities as well.
Yeah, you know, and for anybody to think that there's really a war on drugs, there never has been.
Well, look at the prohibition days with alcohol, and you had gangsters like Al Capone, and they would go around smashing up dispensaries.
Well, the government itself is the gangster. They're the ones that control everything, you know.
Yeah,
they get paid off big bucks. Why do you think the Mexican cartel has been around for so long? I mean, we fight wars in other countries, right? We fight the Taliban. You're going to tell me that the Mexican cartel that's been in existence for how long can't be defeated? Be realistic. They don't want to wipe out or get rid of the Mexican cartel because there's too much money involved. They'll make it look like they're trying to fight them off. They'll make it look like there's a war on drugs. But them big kingpins, they get away with murder. And the government gets their kickback. And once in a while, they'll bust a lower level dealer to make it look like there is a war on drugs when there really isn't. How long has the war on drugs been going on?
Since the dawn of man, I reckon.
I don't know about that because, like, the Egyptians used to use herbal medicines. In fact, it's been found in their the coffins, the sarcophaguses. marijuana, herbal medicines. So I don't think it's millennia. I think it's like about a few hundred years, probably.
David Servant says, pretty sure that here in the USA there will be federally owned marijuana dispensaries, like some states do with alcohol.
Don't forget that Coca-Cola was originally cocaine. In Coca-Cola was cocaine originally.
Gail Randolph
was
says you're right, because the corruption is our government. That's right.
I'm also right on, I believe I'm right on cocaine. Coca-Cola was originally had cocaine in it.
Right.
Everyone used to feel good.
Yeah, minute amounts, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, it had cocaine there. Yeah.
Bring back cocaine cola. Is that what we're saying? No, we're not. Well, maybe.
Well, I guess they'll do that too if the price is right. I'm
True.
thinking it right now.
Cocaine cola. Cool. Imagine being around in those days. And David Servan says, ha ha, the war on drugs ended here back in the 1980s. Way too much cash to be made by the government.
Yeah, it's still illegal here in Australia.
Here in England and UK, now some people can have, under prescription, they're allowed to grow 3 plants under prescription. Anything more than 3 plants is intended to supply.
Yeah, I think 2 states here in Australia have decriminalised it. I think you can grow in those states 2 or 3 plants as well for personal use.
Yeah.
David Nash says a lot of things had cocaine in it back in them days.
Yeah. Used to be able to buy cocaine at the pharmacy until the 20s or 30s, apparently.
And thank you, Gail Rand Epps, for sharing that information with us. The Egyptian mummies had traces of cocaine, and that's very true. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Cocaine.
Hi, Stephanie.
David Servant is saying, this may get me some heat, but the only reason marijuana and prostitution was ever made illegal is due to religious fanatics who were offended. It all used to be legal.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wasn't it the salvo ladies in America bring on prohibition for alcohol?
Yeah, yeah.
David that's Nash funny, David. Brad sounds a little nasally. LOL. Got that cocaine nose job.
You've got to realise, David, it's winter here. You know what I mean? I got to be honest, like, cocaine. I haven't had any cocaine. Like, I will admit, like, in my youth, like, I tried a little bit of everything, I guess, but like, nothing. Like, I haven't got an addictive personality. Nothing could addict me. I'm very lucky. Not everyone can say that, unfortunately. If you get high off something, you become addicted to it. I'm high on life, actually. I really enjoy it. Jim's similar as well, high on life.
Yeah, Gail
and
says,
Vic as well,
U.S. Virginia legal up to 4 plants.
Really? Wow. In Virginia? Wow. Yeah, being high on life. Yeah, even like recognizing the depression and the stress, because life is stressful. We live in a chaos realm, and the realm of stress. Yeah, I'm still high on life, I reckon. Despite the stress and like the disappointments of recognizing the way society is. What's that, Vic?
I'm high on life. I don't need drugs to be high on life. I have the occasional drink, like any man, but I'm generally high on life, natural.
I would say drugs mask the stress that you have to endure through everyday life. That's what drugs do, really. They mask it, don't they?
Yeah. You know? It just hides the emotion of the time.
What does alcohol do? You know, like
if you're depressed, it makes you more depressed. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're happy, it makes you
I-
happier. If you're depressed, it makes you more depressed.
I'm the same as with drugs. I'm the same with alcohol as well. Alcohol puts me to sleep, if anything. I do enjoy the odd beer or two in a pub whilst playing a game of pool. But to be honest with you, like, I can never be an alcoholic. Although I do understand why people do drink a lot. I understand that, yeah. But alcohol's not for me either. To be honest.
I don't drink. I don't drink at all.
No.
No, I have the occasional beer, but drugs, no. I used to do shrooms once a year.
Yeah.
I used to enjoy that, but that was only once a year. I knew better than to take it all the time.
Yeah, well, that's the smart thing because too much of anything is no good for you.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? That's what Adam Ant said.
Cigarettes are my failure.
Yeah, and don't eat too much fat. It seems as though all the things that taste the best and most of what we enjoy is no good for us.
It's all processed.
You are right, Jim.
It's all bloody
All the
processed.
food that tastes lovely. Everything that's good for us. No, everything that tastes good is bad for us. You know what I mean? What does Gail Randep say? I think pot became legally controlled because of the other hard drugs. Aggression, pot, mellow, enlightenment. Alcohol has spirits on the label for a reason. Yeah, because spirits can take you over. I had a guy actually collapse on the floor and became possessed by a demon. His voice changed and he became possessed by a demon whilst under the influence, heavily under the influence of alcohol, may I add. In fact, and he peed himself as well, I admit that. But the thing is, like, yeah, his voice changed and, like, yeah, he definitely became possessed. And, like, my brother also was under the influence of alcohol and, like, he started talking in another voice and his wife said to me, like, it's like he was possessed. It's amazing that alcohol can actually lower one's vibration and open you up for vulnerability of psychological attack.
Yeah, they say that with alcohol, and they say that with drugs as well.
Yeah, yeah.
It opens yourself up to bad spirits coming and attacking you.
You know, and hence the word spirits. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And David Severn says, thank you for sharing this with us, David. Alcohol in general isn't my first choice, but I do make my own meds. So I do enjoy that. My own mead. So I do enjoy that. Well.
Homebrew.
Homebrew, yeah, yeah. I went to a party, a field party recently, and yeah, they were sharing honey, mushroom honey. Yeah, so it was honey with mushrooms in it, magic mushrooms. Yeah.
That's a go.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
yeah. Did I have any? Absolutely not. Yeah.
Mushrooms are all right. When I did used to do it once a year, it just took me to another place. I fully enjoyed it.
That's right. Yeah. Bit of harmless fun and not addictive either.
No, that's right.
And Gail Randeps says, people smoking pot only don't do aggressive crimes, just eat all your groceries. That's right. You get the munchies.
David Sermon says local honey, wild fruits, water, and natural yeast. Let it all ferment.
Yay. Yeah, and natural yeast, yeah. Because yeast and sugar, if you add yeast, sugar, and potatoes, you will get vodka. If you add, am I right? Yeah, and yeast, sugar, and carrots is whiskey. You know, it's, you know, you could make your own actually by yeast tablets, raw yeast, active yeast. Yeah.
I didn't
Wow.
realize that. I would have to ask you how you know that, Bradley.
That's the word on the street, Jim.
Oh.
I used to be a chemist. Chemistry, I used to like that. Yeah.
Gail's got a point. She says natural drugs opposed to man-made created chemical drugs.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, chemical-based drugs are no good for you. They just do bad things to your head.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like when you go to the doctor, they give you a pill to try and offer you comfort and to ease or remedy the symptoms that you're suffering. Then you'll find they had to give you another pill to counteract that pill. So the side effects of that pill could actually affect your liver or your kidneys. So they've got to give you another pill to counteract that pill that you're taking. And like in the end, you end up taking loads of pills. My wife, when I first met my wife, she was taking loads of pills, and I eventually got her to give the lot up. Apart from one or two, she gave her a lot of the pills up when she found she didn't really need them. Wow, unbelievable. But like, yeah, you believe. If your doctor says you need this, you're going to believe him, aren't you? And sometimes, what does a doctor know? He gets a lot of his information from books, and the doctor believes he's doing the right thing as well, in general. In fact, what he's actually doing is promoting Big Pharma. Would he even consider promoting herbal medicine? Not really. It's not in his book, is it? It's a bit like a psychiatrist, really, saying to you, like you hear voices from spirits. Well, that's impossible. You must be schizophrenic, suffering with acute psychosis. When really, is it possible to actually hear voices from spirits? He doesn't know, so he believes what he's reading from books, these textbooks, telling him that it's impossible. When really, is it impossible? Like, you've got psychic mediums that actually have live shows in front of thousands of people for an hour and a half, 2 hours. They hold everyone captivated, and they're saying, I've got someone coming through here now, and they're sharing information that only the person they're talking to could know. No one else would know. And this validates the fact that the psychic medium is presenting some validity and clarity in the words to promote the fact that, yes, they are genuinely talking to a spirit related to you. And a psychic would struggle. I mean, a psychiatrist would struggle with that and say, well, he would have an atheist view, to be honest with you, because he couldn't validate the fact. How is that possible?
So what's the difference between a psychic and a schizophrenic then?
That's the question, isn't it, Vic? When you hear voices from spiritual entities, are you schizophrenic? Are you mentally ill because the psychiatrist says so? Or have you been blessed with a paranormal gift? That's a question in itself.
Right. Right. That's why a lot of people keep it to themselves. They're afraid of the stigma that goes with it.
And Gail Rand Epps is saying, I was on a 28 RX daily, just got worse, didn't walk for 3 years, went holistic and juicing, push now 1.5 acres. RX is a money scam. Wow. And David Severn is saying most psychics are charlatans. Anyone who knows how to read expressions and ask the right questions can do the same thing. Yeah, I struggle with that because, I struggle with the fact that unless they got the information from the internet, and if the information wasn't on the internet, how can they hold shows regular on television to an audience without being proved to be charlatans? Because
there's a lot of charlatans out there.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah. Well, and there's also many genuine out there, and unfortunately, a few charlatans stain the fabric for the rest of those who are actually genuine. Because I believe psychics are genuine and mediums are genuine. Not all psychics are mediums. either. And there's many forms of psychic phenomenal gifts as well. There's quite a few varieties there. And like Nostradamus, philosopher or psychic? What do you reckon?
Philosopher. Nostradamus.
Philosopher.
Oh, yeah,
A
philosopher.
philosopher that can actually predict elements of the future. You reckon? That's philosophy.
Well, the old Greek ones did the same with Plato and Socrates and all that. They predicted and
Is
put philosophy.
philosophy?
Yeah,
Is philosophy a paranormal gift?
it could be, I reckon. It could be.
Are you a philosopher?
It's out of the box. It's definitely out of the box.
Are you a philosopher, Vic?
It's
No, not
it's
really.
based on observation, assumption, and theory.
Right.
Or intuition? Could it be based on intuition? Philosophy?
Could be.
I think true intuition is when you're supposed to ride on a train or take a plane flight and something tells you not to and something happens. That's intuition.
Yeah.
It's an inner feeling.
Like,
it's an inner gut feeling.
can you imagine, like a few hundred years ago, he might have predicted 911?
Just about at the top of the hour. So
yeah, it is. And I'd like to say thank you, everyone, for your contributions in the group forum. Thank you for watching us. Please like, share, and subscribe to Out of the Box. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your contributions.
Thanks for being here.
You for your questions. It's a pleasure to have Vic Makaroff is on the show. Vic Makaroff from Australia.
Thank you, fellas.
Thank you.
All right. See you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.